From the hangar in Lancaster, California, I'm Angel.
And I'm Jacobo.
This week in our city, the city's new Traffic Management Center, the California Mortgage Relief Program,
Lancaster's prime desert woodland preserve, the public works staff, and the early life and career of childhood star Judy Garland.
I think what I'm most excited to talk about in this episode is Judy Garland. What about you?
You know what? I think I have to agree with you. Wizard of Oz, flying monkeys.
Can't beat 'em.
Yep.
Here in the city of Lancaster, there's always something new and exciting to do, like taking a trip to visit one of the boulevard's local boutiques for some shopping, dine at a restaurant, or visit one of the city's historical landmarks. But for many, driving around the city can be a bit strenuous because of traffic. According to Local Conditions, a website that gives a general look at the flow of traffic in your desired location, Lancaster experiences a great deal of traffic in different parts of the city. Lancaster's more popular areas, like the Boulevard and Cinemark movie theater, are prone to experiencing heavy flows the most, while the Soul Plaza shopping center gets a medium flow of traffic, which can make trying to get to an appointment or catch a movie on time a bit stressful. In addition to the traffic, there's also having to wait at stoplights, which on average can last anywhere from 60 to 90 seconds, although sometimes it feels like an eternity. But the city aims to cut down on that time by introducing the Traffic Management Center. The city of Lancaster partnered up with Metro to build the Traffic Management Center, which is housed in City Hall and will collect data of the 140 plus signalized intersections. Staff will be able to monitor the flow of traffic in real time in order to make adjustments to the traffic flow and reduce congestion. With the new technology, the city is granted the ability to test different systems as well. These systems will aid in reducing traffic collisions, track average speeds, improve bicycle safety, reduce side street wait times, and collect data to assist in other traffic improvements. By implementing the Traffic Management Center, the city will increase the safety for motorists and bicyclists, while also work to improve the flow of traffic in a positive manner. The Traffic Management Center had an open house that employees could attend. There was mini games that featured traffic-related trivia questions, traffic-themed cookies made by Pop House Desserts AV, and even a raffle that gave away prizes. We spoke with staff from the City of Lancaster's Transportation Department for insights about this project and what it means for the city.
This is Joseph from L28. I'm here with Mitch from Traffic Management, and he's going to give us a quick overview of what today is about and what kind of new features they have going on for us.
This project started, it was back in 2017 in conjunction with Metro to build a traffic management center to where we can view all the video from our detection cameras and closed circuit TV and also manage the traffic controllers from a location here in City Hall. And it's finally finished, and today's the grand opening. Also, there'll be a location in the EOC when the construction is finished there. So anything that we can do here, they can do over there in the EOC during emergencies. And we'll also have a remote location at the maintenance yard where our signal technicians can use the equipment over there.
That sounds great, Mitch. And later on, you're going to take us inside there and see what we're looking at?
Yes, right now we have, all throughout the city, we have 14 CCTV cameras and about 230 video detection cameras at different intersections. And we bring all the video back here, and we can monitor this traffic and make adjustments in real time.
Mitch, what kind of impact do you think this is going to have within the community? What kind of positive impact?
Well, it should really improve traffic flow throughout the community because now we can monitor traffic in one spot and make changes in real time as it's happening. And if we see something backing up, we can make adjustments. And before, we really didn't have that. We would just have to access it on our computer or go out in person and see what was going on before we could make adjustments.
So it seems like the response time is going to definitely be more quicker. We're just going to have better service and better overview of the traffic.
Yes, because our technicians will be able to see what's going on before they actually go out there. They'll know what they need to bring to repair the problem and get everything back to normal.
So Angel, you attended that open house, right?
I did attend the Traffic Management Center open house.
So what were some of your favorite things?
I think one of my favorite things was watching people scramble to get the answers to the trivia game. That was pretty fun. And then the cookies too. They were really cool.
Nice.
Designed like traffic lights. Almost looked too good to eat.
You're just like, I'm going to save this.
Exactly.
It's not even going to eat it. The reality for most middle-class Americans is that dreams of owning a home are becoming less and less likely as the housing market has continued to rise over the last couple of years. This is either due to inflation, high demands of living costs in California, or one of the most overlooked reasons being that there is just not enough housing to go around. That's why back in December of 2021, the state of California announced the launch of the California Mortgage Relief Program. The program was curated in response to the rising housing market crisis as it aims to provide Californians with crucial assistance specifically to homeowners who have fallen behind on their housing payments in recent years. In many circumstances, this is due to the financial hardships they experienced during the midst of lockdowns and uncertainty throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. The California Mortgage Relief Program is being fully funded by the 2021 American Rescue Plan Act's Homeowner Assistance Fund, which is administered by the California Housing Finance Agency Homeowner Relief Corporation. Through the use of the 2021 American Rescue Plan, the U.S. Department of Treasury is currently distributing more than $9 billion to eligible states, territories, and tribes. The rollout of the assistance will be depending on the availability and usage of the dispersed funds. The program is projected to be available to homeowners over the next 2 years with a projected end date of sometime in September of 2025. While this may be exciting for a lot of Californians in need, the reality is that not all homeowners will be eligible to receive assistance. Some of the specific criteria to qualify for property tax relief are homeowners who faced a financial hardship due to the COVID-19 pandemic after January 21st of 2020, household incomes that reside at or below 100% of their county's area median income, missed at least one property tax payment before June 13th of 2022, and for residents who have only owned and occupied one property within the state of California, serving as their primary home or residence. And lastly, if they own a single-family home, condominium, or permanently affixed manufactured home. Eligible homeowners could receive up to $20,000 to cover past due property tax payments. If you would like to learn more info on this program and if you qualify, contact the Homeowners Hotline now at 888-707-1003. You know what? One of my friends actually utilized this program and it saved him from losing his house. So I think that it's really great what they're doing.
It's nice that there are programs in place to help people in times of need, especially, I'm sure struggling with your house is something many people might feel alone in. So just having a program that'll back you up and support you, can't beat that.
Yeah, I agree. Stay where you are. After the break, L28 will be bringing you a look at the prime desert woodland preserve, as well as how the public works crew of Lancaster helps to keep the city safe and operable.
Welcome back to L28. I'm Angel, and in this segment, we'll be covering one of the city's natural preserves and talking about the public works staff and all that they do for the city. Preserving the natural habitat of an area can be an important part of keeping the environment and its inhabitants safe, while it also educates people on the history and culture of the region. This is done through careful study and analysis of artifacts, as they can be used to examine specific periods in time and show the progression of a group of people or animals native to the area. The artifacts can show what their daily lives looked like, what kind of foods they ate, what methods of transportation were used, and what they believed and valued. The city of Lancaster's Prime Desert Woodland Preserve is one of many when it comes to landmarks created due to collaboration from community members and the city council that serve as a way to protect the area and educate visitors and residents alike on the animal and plant life that reside there. The preserve was proposed in 1985 and opened its doors in 2001, with much of the final design being based on feedback from the community on what the preserve should look like. The Woodland Preserve is a 100-acre plot of land and is home to the Elise Clifford Interpretive Center, which provides guests with an opportunity to learn about the land through different on-site exhibits and activities. Inside the center, one side is set up as an excavation site for participants to dig up fossils and artifacts from the area. There are also diagrams in the center that explain what the various plants seen around the Woodland Preserve are, along with information about the local wildlife that can be encountered on the preserve's hiking trails. Because the land is so large, it has almost 3 miles of walking trails accessible to visitors. Surrounding the trails are Joshua and juniper trees as far as the eye can see, as well as signs that describe the animal tracks and information on how the early Native Americans used plants and animals in the area for resources. The Woodland Preserve is also home to several different art installations, such as Then Now a Dream by Nathaniel Anchetta and David Edward Martin, which features 4 antelope sculptures made from discarded materials, The Paleolithic Herd by Devin Thor, which depicts a family of deer, and Little Giant by Ann Weber, which is a sculpture of a seed that has sprouted from the earth. Inside the Interpretive Center, there are more activities for the audience to engage in, such as a reading area and expanded library, a touch table complete with animal hides, horns, and antlers, as well as workshops based on the landscape. To make time in your schedule for a trip to the Prime Desert Woodland Preserve, visit lancastermoa.org to view their hours of operation.
You know, it seems like the Prime Desert is like the perfect opportunity to engage in nature and just get some fresh air.
Mm-hmm. I did one of the walking trails. I saw a lizard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it a specific type?
4 legs and a tail.
You know, that's weird. I think I saw that guy too.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
It's either the same one or they all look the same.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever wonder who's in charge of the upkeep and maintenance of the numerous street networks that can be found throughout our city? Well, look no further than the City of Lancaster's Maintenance Services Division. This branch is responsible for instilling safer road travel for all patrons, including motorized vehicles as well as on-foot traffic, by ensuring that local residents and visitors alike always receive the right-of-way throughout the city. The Public Works Maintenance Team's objective is centered heavily on the upkeep of local roads within and around the city, keeping in mind not only functionality, but also generating aesthetically pleasing roadways. This ultimately allows for local residents to drive confidently and comfortably in Lancaster while also forming a deeper sense of civic pride, which reflects the quality of life standards that the city continues to provide locals. To ensure the success of the many different ongoing operations happening throughout the city, the Public Works team is comprised of 2 main sectors, with the first of which being the concrete crew, that is responsible for maintenance and upkeep of sidewalks, allowing the city time to gather the right resources to eventually correct the sidewalks as a whole. The concrete crew, which is also in charge of the upkeep of curbs, gutters, median curbs, splash aprons, and handicap ramps. The second team is the asphalt crew, which is responsible for improving street services such as potholing, deep patching, and crack sealing. Some of the other important functions the street maintenance team focuses on are utility-based. Some examples of these are addressing lifted sidewalks to ensure safe passage for patrons on foot, street sweeping, trash, and standing water, which has particularly become a major nuisance in the last several years, serving as the perfect breeding ground for mosquito larvae, ultimately producing a rise in cases in the deadly West Nile virus. The street maintenance team also oversees overgrown tree roots, which are surprisingly the primary cause of damage within the city, as well as filling and resurfacing dangerous potholes and addressing any road closures that might occur throughout the city due to fixing essential services like water lines, sewer pipes, and power lines. To learn more info on all the services that the City of Lancaster offers, you can visit cityoflancasterca.org/public works maintenance. And if you notice a substantial or ongoing issue in your neighborhood that you would like to be addressed, you can visit the website to fill out a request form today.
It's really cool how the public works staff not only ensures that the city gets beautified, which is something that obviously the city is very huge about, but it also just creates a safer environment, like you mentioned.
Yeah, creating a safer environment while allowing people to take pride in their city, I think is very important. Coming back from the break, we'll be looking at the early life and career of film legend Judy Garland.
Welcome back to L28. Today we'll be ending the episode with an informational piece on childhood favorite Judy Garland. The city of Lancaster has many residents who have went on to make an impact in the community and become household names nationwide, such as Zaire Williams, who attended Fulton and Alsbury Academy and went on to play in the NBA. He held his first ever basketball clinic in the Antelope Valley back in the summer. There's also Tiffany Johnson, who established a nonprofit organization for underprivileged athletes and won the title of Miss California. But did you know that one of America's beloved silver screen legends also hailed from the city of Lancaster? Judy Garland, whose birth name was Frances Ethel Gum, was born in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, but relocated with her family to the city of Lancaster when she was 4, where her father, Frank Gum, would buy and operate a theater. During this time, her mother began the process of getting Garland and her older sisters into show business. The trio joined a school for dance ran by Ethlyn Megland, who was a Ziegfeld girl, and made their debut in a short film titled The Big Review. They also appeared in other works such as A Holiday in Storyland, The Wedding of Jack and Jill, Bubbles, and finally, La Fiesta de Santa Barbara. As performers, the trio went by the Gum Sisters, which would soon change due to theater legend George Jessel. He informed the sisters that their name was not fitting for showbiz and even mocked. They had been listed as the Glum Sisters at one point. There are 3 different versions of how they came to choose the name Garland. The first story is that Jessel got the name from Lily Garland, a character in the 1934 film 20th Century, which was playing at the Oriental Theater during the same time they were touring. The second is that the sisters took inspiration from then drama critic Robert Garland. And another comes from Lorna Luft, one of Garland's daughters, who says the name was chosen after Jessel told the sisters they were, quote, prettier than a garland of flowers. The Gum Sisters became the Garland Sisters overnight as Frances changed her name to Judy based on the Hoagy Carmichael song first released in 1934. The trio wouldn't last long as Suzanne Garland moved to Reno, Nevada to begin a new life. One of the co-founders of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer sent a songwriter to scout the Garland Sisters act, which would lead Judy to getting an audition and later being signed to the company. Garland would make an appearance in the 1936 musical short Every Sunday and garnered the attention of studio executives after performing at a birthday party for actor Clark Gable. MGM struck gold once they paired her with Mickey Rooney, as the duo went on to perform in more than several well-known backyard musicals together, and the Hardy films, Andy Hardy Debutante and Life Begins for Andy Hardy. At the age of 16, Garland was cast in what would be her most iconic role, Dorothy Gale in The Wizard of Oz, as the film was well received and she received an Academy Juvenile Award for her roles in The Wizard of Oz and Babes in Arms. As she got older, Garland stepped into more adult roles, and it became a struggle for the performer because fans who couldn't separate her from the girl next door image that had been created during her youth. She would later separate from MGM after 15 years due to a decline in health, affecting her attendance and causing delays for filming. Garland made a comeback to film and won a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Musical for her role in A Star is Born, as well as Oscar and Golden Globe nominations for her role in Judgment at Nuremberg. She performed on the Las Vegas Strip at the New Frontal Hotel and was the highest paid entertainer at the time, with a salary of $55,000 per week. And in 1961, her appearance at the Carnegie Hall would win her 4 Grammy Awards for Album of the Year and Best Female Vocalist of the Year. She would get her own television show, The Judy Garland Show, which had famous guests like Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. Although the show only lasted for 26 episodes, it was nominated for 4 Emmy Awards. During the final years of her career, Garland returned to the United States to perform in New York's Palace Theater with her children Lorna and Joey Luft, and went on a 5-week performance run in a London nightclub before her final concert appearance in March 1969. Garland passed away in June of 1969 at her rented home in London. After her death, her ex-husband raised $250,000 for the heirs to her will, and in 2017, she was disinterred from the Ferncliff Cemetery and reinterred to the Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Los Angeles, where she rests today. Although her childhood home suffered damage due to a fire, the historic landmark can still be found on Cedar Avenue. So, you ever seen The Wizard of Oz?
You know, I've seen it a few times, but it's been a while. What about you?
I've only seen it a couple times. You ever watched the Judy Garland show?
That I have not watched.
I see.
Is it good?
I liked it.
It was good.
Frank Sinatra.
I'm gonna have to check it out then.
Well, thank you for tuning in to the City of Lancaster's news. I'm Angel.
And I'm Jacobo, and this has been
L28 News.